Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I just had a rather tasty drink from Dunkin' Donuts, and hopefully we're going to continue that trend a little bit. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? Happens to be my Bloodywood shirt from the 9-inch Non-Tour. One of these days I'll wear my other Bloodywood shirt. I think I've worn it like twice, ever. That one's mostly pristine. But this one I've had for a little bit longer than the other one. What the hell is Bloodywood, though? Bloodywood are a band out of India. Really unique band. Kind of a mix of styles. They incorporate elements of sort of like nu metal, so they have like, sort of rap vocals and harsh vocals and clean vocals, but then also adding in like more traditional Indian instrumentation. I really love that blend, that combination. I've been a huge fan of not only their work, but even work before that, kind of similar vibes like the Yoshida brothers, who incorporate, like Japanese traditional type music into like Western style and stuff and everything. I love that. I'm a huge fan of these guys. I got into their stuff a while back. I've seen them perform live a couple times. I actually have videos of said performances on my channel, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I think they're incredible. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Like I said, I just got through reviewing a drink, Boom, from Dunkin'. This is specifically their lava cake signature iced latte. Go look that review up if you're interested. But they also had a new signature donut that I was like, all right, that looks like a thing I could review. So, what is it? It's a thing. It's Boom. It's kind of hard to see. This is their Whoopie Pie signature donut. It's basically their donut of the month. And yeah, man, I saw this on the thing, and I was like, yeah, I gotta try that. That looks like a thing. Let's get a... The funny thing is, I moved my car with the hope of getting crud. Give me a second. Height of professionalism here, folks. Height of professionalism. Goddamn Razafraz Sun is screwing me up. Park. Stay. Be good. Ah, there we go. Okay. Now let's see if we can get a better shot. I think we can. Oh, wow, look at that. It looks a million times better. So it looks like this, and we'll go, ha, 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 ha. And yeah, it's like a little donut sandwich. Let's give it a go. Oh, by the way, I have an entire playlist called Dunkin' Reviews. That's where all my Dunkin' Donut stuff reviews go. So that's where this will end up. That's pretty nice. I will say, it's definitely not whipped cream because, yeah, it's dense. And considering that it was in this bag before I took it out, and like everything stayed together, I'm guessing maybe like a buttercream, or if it is some sort of a whipped cream, it's definitely got to have like a stabilizer on it or something, or in it. That's what I meant to say. But it's nice though. I mean, you got a chocolate glazed donut. That's already nice. It's got, a little bit of darkness to the chocolate flavor, but the glaze kind of keeps it nice and sweet. But it's not like overly sweet. And yeah, you've got the whipped cream or whatever the hell it is. Surprisingly, relatively little. I'm going to do like a full thing. Screw it. Yeah, I'm going to say like a buttercream. But surprisingly light. I feel like what they were trying to do, and I could be completely wrong to be fair, but I feel like what they were trying to do is they went over there and they used a buttercream, but they were trying to emulate more of a whipped cream flavor. So it's not as rich or as heavy tasting as a buttercream normally is. So I feel like that's what they were trying to go for. But the problem, well, the kind of problem is that it just feels, the cream itself doesn't taste bad, but it doesn't feel as substantial as maybe it should. Because, like, yeah, whipped cream is definitely lighter than buttercream. It's not as rich, but, like, it's definitely as flavorful, just in a different way. And I feel like by trying to diminish that richness a little bit, which I do think is a good idea, because I think if you'd just gone full on buttercream with this, it would have been almost sickeningly sweet. But I do feel like doing what they did with it, you end up with this sort of half in, half out thing where, like, on the one hand, it's got the stability of a buttercream. It has a little bit of that richness, a little bit of that sweetness, but because you're trying to do more of a whipped cream thing with it, it doesn't really have the strength of either thing. But it's not bad. I love, for myself, I love cream-filled donuts. And this is nice. I wish, and I understand why it wouldn't be, but, like, if you were to get this from, like, a real bakery, I'd love to have something like this, but with, like, actual whipped cream, like, properly done. Because that way, the flavor would be just that much more rewarding and expansive. Whereas this is still pretty good, but I do feel like the donut aspect of it is doing most of the work. Yeah, so the glaze is, or I'm sorry, not the glaze, the frosting is there, and it's kind of working with the glaze a little bit, but it's not the highlight the way that I would want, like a filled donut to be. Because, you get like a Boston cream, the highlight is the cream, that's the best part of it. With this, I kind of feel like the donuts are honestly the best part of it, and I feel like the whipped cream, buttercream, whatever the fuck it is that they're using, it's a little bit so-so. But, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Sure and sure. Like, it's not a bad thing, and, like, there's no part of it that I dislike. It's just, it's not as good as I was hoping. And the thing is, of course, especially with Dunkin', let's be honest, you do have to be realistic. Dunkin', despite their original namesake of Dunkin' Donuts, their donuts are kind of, they do have some solid ones. If you want to get yourself, 12 or 10 or what the hell ever for, like, they certainly fit the bill, especially if you're doing some of the more basic ones. But when they try to do the fancier ones, I feel like oftentimes, not all the time, but I feel like oftentimes it does kind of showcase some of the weaknesses in the actual, like, Dunkin' product. And I do feel like that comes through a little bit here, because I feel like if you went over there and took this concept and, had it just made fresh by a bakery, it would be fantastic. As is, it's a little underwhelming. It's kind of fun, and I didn't mind eating it, and I certainly won't mind finishing it, but not as good as I would have hoped. But I do think that I'd maybe get it again as like a one-off or something. If I'm recommending it, though, as long as you go into it with reasonable expectations. Because I have to admit, when I saw this on the menu, and I was like, okay, that looks like it's going to be spectacular. That's what I need to be going at. Yeah, I mean, again, didn't quite hit those expectations, but at the same time, like, I'm not mad at it or anything. It didn't ruin my day that it's not as good as I was thinking. It's still a pretty tasty donut. And I feel like, fuck it, it's a limited time thing. Get in and get you some. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, Spanish rest of the year. Folks, cover themselves a truly proper whipped cream-tastic rest of your life. Whipped cream is just I'm not going to say in every instance, but as somebody who actually did work in a bakery for a little while, whipped cream is infinitely better than buttercream. Again, certain instances buttercream wins out, but like 9 times out of 10 for me. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated, but what you can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. And folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your personal take on the whipped cream, buttercream debate that I've invented right now? Because, yeah, like I said, it was during my time working at a bakery in my very late teen years that I really became aware of the difference and just how much my preference was on one side versus the other. But obviously, there's plenty of folks out there who, prefer the buttercream, and that's their jam. I don't know, man. I like buttercream in certain instances, but it's just so rich and so almost sickeningly sweet. Whereas I feel like with, whipped cream, it's lighter, it's still a wonderful thing, but I don't know. Anyway,